श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्यः कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्ताम् सदा हृदि स्वादयन्निह सर्वेषाम् त्रय्यन्तार्थम् सुदुर्ग्रहम् स्तोत्रयामास योगीन्द्रः तम् वन्दे यामुनाह्वयम् नमो नमो यामुनाय यामुनाय नमो नमः नमो नमो यामुनाय यामुनाय नमो नमः यत्पदाम्भोरुहध्यान विध्वस्ताशेषकल्मषः वस्तुतामुपयातोऽहम् यामुनेयम् नमामि तम्
श्रीमत्कृष्ण समाह्वाय नमो यामुनसूनवे यत्कटाक्ष एकलक्ष्याणां सुलभः श्रीधरः सदा नमः यामुन पाद अब्ज रेणुभिः पावित आत्मने विदित अखिल वेद्याय गुरवे विदित आत्मने नमः अचिन्त्य अद्भुत अक्लिष्ट ज्ञान वैराग्य राशये नाथाय मुनये अगाध भगवत भक्ति सिंधवे
अभूतपूर्वं मम भावि किंहा सर्वं सहे मे सहजं हि दुःखं किन्तु त्वदग्रे शरणागतानां पराभवो न तेनुरूपः.
What will possibly happen to me that has not already befallen? I bear everything, for misery has become natural to me. But, O Master, it is not worthy of thee that those who have taken refuge in thee should be defeated by adverse sense activities and sense objects in their attempts to realize thee.
Abhuta Purvam earlier, already. Purvam already. Bhavi will happen. Bhavi will happen. Future. Bhavi. Kim, what? Why is what we call a doubtful question. So when will it happen? So what will happen and when will happen and for? So possibly, the word why is meaning possibly. Rather, we say rather. Or else, ELS. That has not already befallen. Abhuta Purva. It refers to something negative. If it is something positive and it is what we call a plus point, we need not worry about it. But it is because it is negative, because it is something affecting us, affecting our life. Of course, Yamunacharya says about himself, so that when we read the Stotram, Stotra Ratnam, then we will also say Mama. That is mine. So what will happen to me, Mama? That has not already befallen. In the sense, I have suffered a lot. There is no suffering left out that I have not done. I have not undergone. And then in that sense, what we say, this is what we say helplessness. This is what we call the first limb of the total surrender, prapatti, where though sometimes we are happily living in this world without many problems, but we are talking about a situation where many people suffer. So we are not selfish in the sense mama, because I am saying mama, it is not my case only. It is everybody's case. The whole lot, all the people in the world, in fact, all the living beings in the world, because they are also suffering. Equally suffering or differently, more and more suffering. So what we understand by our position now is comparing with each other. Some people suffer more and some people suffer less. And we always say that why we suffer is because of our sins in the previous birth. Why we are happy is because of the merits of the previous birth. But again, these are all dependent upon Lord's decree. Whether we committed, whether we did good deeds or committed bad actions, everything is Lord. Everything belongs to Him. And though, of course, we have been given a what we call discriminating mind, not to commit mistakes. We have been given the brain, the thought, the discrimination power that we should not commit mistakes. In spite of it, we are led to do that. We are sometimes forced to do that by circumstances, by surrounding situations, and therefore, what will happen to me, I do not know. Anything may happen, anytime. Yeah, always we are talking about the negative things. That's why in the second line he said everything, sarvam, everything. Sahe, I bear. The word I is not available because sahe is what we call first person singular verb. Uttama purushaha ekavachanam. And therefore there is no need for I in the word. Again, there are two aspects. In Sanskrit sentences, either in prose or verse, we need not write the subject at all. That is the beauty in Sanskrit. The subject of the sentence can be absent, namely the word. The word can be absent. It can be understood very easily because of the verb. The verbal form will indicate to you what is the number, singular, dual or plural, ekavachanam, dvivachanam or bahuvachanam. What is the person, third person or second person or first person? Prathama purushaha, madhyama purushaha, uttama purushaha. Therefore, it's very easy to understand the subject. And the second aspect of this is grammar. The second aspect is, I go on saying aham, 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 I. That means I have got ego. So, let us avoid the word aham. Let us forget the word I. No, I is not. I is absent. The I, the word I must be absent in our mind. It should be deleted. All the time in mind, the word I must be deleted. Whatever we say I. I did it. I now speak. I am speaking to you. I am responsible. So the word I is always there in our mind. It should be discarded. Therefore, the word sahe. So aham sahe. I bear everything sarvam. Why? All are sahajam hi dukkham. Dukkham, misery, has become natural to me. Sahajam. The misery is born along with me. Misery is my brother. Misery is my sister. So dukkham is my co-born. Sahajam, natural. It is natural for anybody to suffer in this world. And therefore we say life is difficult. And last time we saw the life is an ocean. We compare our life with the ocean. Bhavarnava. The Bhava life. So Bhavarnavaha, that was the word used. So the ocean of life. Since it is very difficult to cross the waters of the ocean by swimming, not with the help of the boat, not with the help of any other what they call gadget to cross the ocean. In fact, the flight. So no help is available. So even if when I'm swimming, I'm not able to find anybody to protect me. There is no boat to come to rescue. There is no ship. There is no protector. I am just tossed by the waves. And therefore, I do not know how to come out of the life force. So, Sagajam hi dukkham. He indeed, or can say he means far. Misery has become natural. Kintu, but, O Master, last verse, last line, Hey Natha, O Master. Natha. So here you find that Ananya Gatitvam. We have no other refuge to go. We have no other shelter to reach. Therefore, O Master. The first way we say that we are helpless. All the limbs of this total surrender are contained in almost every verse. It is not worthy of thee. Te anurupaha na. Anurupaha worthy of thee. Te na. No. That means you deserve to protect me. It is not right on your path to leave me in the lurch. That is the so Anurupaha meaning form. Rupaha is form. Anurupaha is your form is always a sympathetic form. Karuna Purnaha, Karuna Mayaha. You are full of pity. You are full of grace. Therefore, it is, if you behave otherwise, if you have some other disposition with me, then you are not natural. It is natural for me to suffer, but it is unnatural for me to avoid my protection. For you to avoid my protection. And therefore it is not worthy of me. So that those who have taken refuge is Sarana Agatana. Already Prapatti has been done. So total surrender has been done by many people. Almost all the people. Crores of people. Scores of living beings. So they have fallen unto your feet, divine feet. The Prapatti has been done. As you say, Samasrayanam has been done. And Acharya has been approached. The preceptor has been approached. So we have taken refuge in the Acharya. We have taken the Acharya is the God. Acharya, the preceptor is the God. So those who have taken refuge, Sharanagatana, where Swata Agre, I think it is not available. The English translation is not available. Swata Agre, in front of you, in your presence, it is not there. Those who have taken refuge, Indi is there, Indi. So Swata Agre is there. Agre meaning in front of you. But meaning under your supervision. You are there. When I surrendered to my preceptor, you are there. You have been there. So you were present while I surrendered to my Acharya. That means Sadagre means I didn't fall at the feet, your feet. I fell at the feet of my guru, my teacher. But watching, the witness is the Lord. Sarva Sakshi is called Sarva Sakshi. He is witness for everything. Keshavdas Swami would like to quote here the two birds, where one bird is eating the fruits and the other bird is watching. Sayuja Sakhaya. The watching bird is the Paramatma, and so he is already witnessing what we do. Of course, when we do good deeds, he is happy. When we commit sins, he is unhappy because he is watching every time. All the time he is watching, every action he is watching, our every action. And therefore, so what does he do is, while we do good deeds, he is happy to know that we are good disciples. But when we commit sin, he feels sorry for us. He wants to correct us. He wants to redeem us. And then he directs us to some good path. He shows the preceptor. So we go to a preceptor, and then in the presence of God, Lord Sriman Narayana, we take refuge. That is, we go for shelter. So refuge in thee, that will be should be defeated by adverse sense activities and sense objects. These should be defeated in their attempts to realize thee. Or maybe it's a very long sentence to give a single word meaning. Parabhavaha is insult, defeat. Defeat can use. But the point here is Lord Sriman Narayana has some deficiency. That means everybody will find fault with the Lord. Everybody will blame the Lord. All those who have surrendered to the preceptor in the presence of the Lord will always blame the Lord. Why we blame the Lord? Because he is not natural. Why he is not natural? Because he is not showing pity on us. The problem is because of our what we call mound of sins, a large amount of sins. Lord is also delaying his blessings, and therefore Parabhavaha is he is requesting the Lord not to get insulted. Parabhavaha is the purpose of taking total surrender under the preceptor will be a failure, will be a total failure if Lord Almighty does not protect. So Parabhavo te anurupaha. So let us. He wants the God to assure himself that he will not be insulted, he will not be defeated. So meaning that the protection should be extended to all those who surrender. And why all those who surrender? Those who do not surrender also will be protected. But we say in Shastra, the time should come. The time should come. The kalaha anukulaha bhavati. The time, if it is favorable, then that is the answer for all questions. And naturally, we will be protected. But if he doesn't come to the rescue of the devotee, then he is at fault. So nobody should find fault with the Lord. That is the intention of the Yamunakara. So I think you understand the English translation doesn't seem to convey the last sentence. It is not worthy of the that those who have taken refuge in thee should be defeated. Now there are two types of defeat. If the Lord does not protect the surrenderee, if the Lord does not save the surrenderee, then the surrenderee will suffer. Sharanagataha will suffer. Those who are fallen at the feet of the Lord will suffer. Therefore, the purpose of falling at the divine feet of the Guru or feet of the preceptor is defeat. Yeah. There are two aspects of defeat. One is defeat on the part of the devotee, and the other defeat is on the part of the Lord. So when we talk about him, his quality, how many auspicious qualities that we say. He has got karunyam, he has got mercy. He is merciful. Karuna Purnaha. He is full of mercy. Then the devotee still suffering or continue when he continues to suffer, there is no protection extended, and therefore Lord will be blamed. And again, if the devotee suffers, then he will feel remorseful. He will feel dejected. He will be feeling very bad that when he expects the Lord to protect him, the protection is not given. And therefore, there are two types of defeat here. The very purpose of total surrender will be defeated if the Lord does not give succor. And if he is not acting as a refuge, if he doesn't accord, grant shelter. Of course, the final aim is the Vaikuntham Prapti, reaching the Vaikuntham. And that is called Moksham, otherwise called the Kainkanyam, otherwise called the service, permanent service to the Lord. So even if there is an interruption of service to the Lord, the devotee is unhappy, and therefore he will blame the Lord. But generally, of course, blaming the Lord is not the duty of the devotee, but he is likely to blame the Lord, and therefore the Lord should avoid the blame. Lord should avoid the insult by the devotee. So that is the meaning of it. So Parabhavaha on two sides. The purpose of total surrender will be defeated if the devotee is not protected. And again, Lord's quality, the auspicious quality of the Lord, namely mercy, will be at stake, will be misunderstood by the devotee. We say that he is full of mercy. And devotees will ask, oh, you said the Shastra says he is full of mercy, but his mercy has not reached me. Therefore, he said, for all those who surrender, he should give shelter. Because it is done in his presence. For example, Vishnu Sahasranamam Stotram was given to Yudhishthira and other Pandavas by Bhishma in the presence of Lord Krishna. That is more important. Krishna was there. Therefore, Tadagre, in the presence of the Lord, Bhishma said these names, 1,000 names to Yudhishthira, especially Yudhishthira, because Yudhishthira doesn't need it because he is already devoted. And of course, all other Pandavas. Especially even Arjuna. Arjuna, after a lot of advice, also he is not completely changed. And therefore, Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram has to be give advice to Arjuna at the time of on the last days of Bhishma. While he is lying down on the arrow bed only, he is talking about. But Lord Krishna was by the side, and therefore Lord Krishna was assessing the attitudes of the people who listen to Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram. And that is what we call Tadagri. So everybody has surrendered. Of course, all the Pandavas have surrendered already to Lord Krishna. They have no other refuge. They always think that after Arjuna Prapatti. So we can go to the commentary. Uh, 25. Padavure. Natha. The word Natha will be understood by us or more easily by using an we are all anathaha, orphaned people, because we don't have any other god to protect. We also sometimes we say we made some effort to go to some other god and go to reach some people to ask for protection, but protection was not available, and therefore he is the only master, the only refuge, only shelter. Oh, no. So Mama, mine. Mama is mine. Mama, you will find that Mama is little selfish. No? I want for me. I want it for me. So this Mama will be used, as I said, by all of us while we study this stotras. Therefore, each one of us will have Mama. Abhuta Purvam. Idarku mun erpadada. That means all kinds of suffering that have been undergone so far. We have not left out anything untouched. Kimva dukkam bhavi. Enna dukkam inimel undagivida pogaradu. Meaning, enough is enough. I have sufficiently suffered. For example, we will tell, I will also tell you this one. Some of us are very happy, some of us are less happy, some of us suffer more, some of us suffer less. While we see others suffering, especially, we feel the devotion greater. We feel that our devotion must be stronger. That's what we must feel. Because when we see others suffering, we take pity on them, we feel sorry for them, and then we confirm our own devotion. We double our devotion. We understand because we are all very happy. We are all comfortable, and therefore, when we see others suffering more, then the suffering, their suffering, also becomes part of our life. We also suffer along with them, and therefore, at least by the mind, if we cannot help in any way, we cannot solve others' problems also. And therefore, we always feel very sorry. We feel we regret, and we try to find out what was the reason for our suffering and others' suffering. We also probe into, research into how we suffer and how others suffer. How we suffer less and how others suffer more. So, enna dukkam inimel undagivida pogudu. Sarvam sahe. Ella dukkangalayum porthukonde irukku. Now, please note here that when we start suffering, when we undergo suffering, the Lord also helps us by giving the capacity to bear the suffering. That's also one. That's also very important. Suppose the suffering is very intolerable. One small example. I used to tell all my wards, if any one of the limbs in our body is broken, I think those who have had fractures will say, those who have had fractures in the limbs will say, even a small hairline crack, will make us suffer like anything. We will go to we will go to the brink of death and come back. That's what the people say. When they suffer a fracture, it will be so painful that they would like to die instead of suffering the pain. That is one small example. And of course, mental sufferings are more. Suffering by the mind is also more. And I would also say, when young people do not get married earlier, so it is not, of course, it is not the main aim of everyone to get married, but the Sanskrit scripture says, Prajaya Manushya Purna. A person is complete by the children. Prajaya Manushya Purna. Of course, irrespective of the gender of the children today, so male or female. So when as a person, we need not be always a bachelor and spinster and remain throughout in the same first stage, brahmacharya. Later on, say the householdership, and then of course we don't go through vanaprastha, and we are not recommended to go to the sannyasa ashrama also. The 4 ashramas are there, but remaining unmarried is not a sacred. There is no sanctity about it. There is no sanctity about remaining a bachelor. That means we are also selfish. We don't want to get married. We are all selfish. So that is why. So when what I want to say is, when we see people getting older and older, beyond 30, 40, and then still hoping to get married, and they don't get the proper partner, then we are all worried. All of us are worried. Our relatives, friends are not getting. It happened in my students' cases also. There are some problems where they cannot get married. So the problem is everywhere. And then we also suffer along with them. We also feel bad about their situation. And therefore, so sarvam sahe, ella dukkangaliyum poruttu konde irukkiren. I bear all the sufferings. Dukkham me sagajam ki. What we call the unhappiness, the sadness, is born along with me. Ennudan kuda pirandadandro. My brother or sister is suffering. Kintu anal sadagre devaririkku munnal, in your presence, in front of you, saranagatanam parabhavaha. வந்து சரணமடைந்தவர்களுக்கு ஏற்படும் அவமானம். I told you, the insult. It did not defeat. Parabhava also means defeat. The better translation will be insult, avamanam. Shame. The shame that happens to a person who has surrendered to the Lord is more, and that will not be fitting. That will not call the Lord merciful. He will be te na anurupaha, onakku tagundadendru. Meaning, his duty is to protect us. If he is opposite to his own quality, then he is not God. He is not the Almighty. Therefore, te na anurupaha. It doesn't behove, it doesn't deserve for the God not to protect the surrenderee. And therefore, never a devotee should be allowed to be insulted by others. For example, the Nastikas, the atheists, those who are non-believers of God, will say, you prayed You didn't get what you wanted. Where is God? You are unsuccessful. In spite of your prayers, you are not blessed by God. Then where is the God? You say you are God, your God is merciful. But that God is not favoring you. Where is the God? These are all questions by atheists. We are not able to answer them because the people are more and more suffering. Therefore, my teacher, I told you, Ramaswamy Iyer from school, he knows this verse and he is reciting before Lord Nataraja in Chidambaram temple. I remember his words. He was high school teacher. He was made elementary school teacher. There was no job assigned to him. He had to sit with the headmaster's office throughout his life for a few years without teaching him. He was getting salary. He was not able to perform his duty of teaching. He was teaching Sanskrit in high school up to 11th. I started learning Sanskrit in 9th standard, 9th grade up to 11th grade. He taught me only for 3 years. Later on, he was pushed to elementary school. And there he doesn't know any other subject like Tamil or any other subject. He didn't know how to teach. Therefore, he remained idle in the headmaster's office. That's all. He was very guilty in receiving salary because he did not teach. That is what avamana. That is what we call parabhava. The whole life, a part of his life was spent without teaching. That is the bad situation. That was the bad situation. Therefore, Sharanagatanam parabhavaha. The defeat of the devotees in this case. And it is also defeat of the God. So God has not protected him and therefore God is at fault. So nate anurupa. Te na anurupa. So you don't deserve to avoid the protection of the devotee. Avatarika. We are talking about the introduction. Abhuta Purvam. Now, with regard to the suffering that we have not undergone so far, Abhuta Purvam. Nampakkal Nestabharara irukra umakku. The devotee has deposited his burden of sins to the Lord or to the preceptor. Lord is the first preceptor. Emberuman Thiruvadigal Adahindre. First Acharya is Lord. So Nestabharaha, the burden of both the merits, good deeds also are deposited to the Lord. We submit both our good deeds and bad deeds. The sins and also merits we owe to the Lord. And therefore, Nestabharara irukra umakku. Now he is talking. Yamunacharya, in the mouth of Yamunacharya, Lord is talking to us. Nampakkal, because you have surrendered to me, I am the first preceptor. Or you have taken a preceptor through me. I have shown you a preceptor and you have surrendered to him. So Nestabharara irukra umakku, because you have done Samashrenam or Prapatti, total surrender. Now we are talking about 236. Sita is telling Hanuman. What was the context? Hanuman said, Rama is worried about you. He has been searching for you. He wants to meet you soon. So don't wait for Rama to come to Sri Lanka and kill Ravana and take you back. I will take you. I will take you immediately to Rama. Don't worry. Sit on my back. I will fly over the ocean as I did it while coming to Sri Lanka, and then I will take you there. There will be immediate union between you and Rama, and then therefore Rama will be happy, you will be happy, nobody will suffer. Sita is answering, Tat tasya sadrisham. Kambaramayanam says, if Rama does not come to Sri Lanka and win over Ravana and take me back, that will be a black mark on his virility, on his purusha, paurusham, the manliness. Rama will have no manliness when he doesn't come to the Sri Lanka and he take me. Whereas if you take me, that will be an insult. That will be an insult to Rama. Rama's bow, Kodandam. Kodandam is a bow. A Kodandam bow will be a failure if you take me back. And already I have been touched by Ravana. He abducted me. When Jatayu, the bird, the friend of Dasharatha, broke the chariot of Ravana. Ravana had to take Sita by hand, and then he brought her to Sri Lanka. So already I've been touched by a demon. So I don't want to be touched by again a monkey. Therefore, I don't want to come with you. And again, another reason, small reason is, because you are flying high over the ocean, I will be afraid and will fall down from your back. So how will you save me from the ocean? And therefore, I don't want to come back. There are so many reasons he is giving in order to say that the Lord should extend the protection. Lord should come by himself. Sometimes the Lord sends some other envoy, representative, a pratinidhi to save us. That is different. But in the case of Sita, Periya Piratiya, Lord Rama should come and take her back. Tat tasya sadrisham. So this is the parallel for what we call the opposite example for Parabhava. If Rama does not come to Sri Lanka to win over Ravana, it means that Rama is weak in fighting with Ravana. And therefore, in order to show his power, supremacy, subduing tendency of over Ravana, then that will be absent if Hanuman takes her back. So Tattadrishya Sadrisham. So என்கிறபடியே கண்டிருக்கை சொரூபமாயிருக்கு. The another point here is Lord takes a lot of incarnations. Vibhava avataraha. He takes a lot of incarnations. Why? By sankalpa, by his independent decision, swasankalpa, swatantra sankalpa, he can protect the people from anywhere. By remote control, he could command any people, anything, favor anybody, and so on. But he is interested in taking abhuta purvam iti. The abhuta purvam iti, the first word is given for the entire verse, that's all. Abhuta purvam is an indication of the first word of the verse 25. Nampakkal nestabarara irukra umakku. Now, Lord Sriman Narayana is engaging in a conversation, dialogue, sambhashana between the devotee and himself. He says, you are already surrendering. You have surrendered at the feet, divine feet. Nampakkal. So you have surrendered at my feet. You have already deposited all your merits and demerits. The result of your good deeds and bad deeds also. You have entrusted the burden with me. Okay. Then 236, we are talking about Ramayana's words of Sita spoken to Hanuman. Hanuman offered to take her back immediately after meeting her. She did not agree. She did not agree to his words. She convinced him that he should not take her back. So in that case, he is saying, Tat Sadrisha Sadrisham. It is better, it is the right way that Rama should come to Lanka and win over Ravana and then take me back. That will be the right way of the right behavior of the Lord, because the Lord has to come to the protection of the devotee in his place. That is, Sita is the Jivatma, Rama is the Paramatma, and Paramatma should come to the rescue of the Jivatma where he is, where Sita is. And that is what we call Paurusha. What we call there are 2 or 3 qualities involved here. Shakti, Viryam, and Tejaha. All the 3 qualities of Bhagavan are involved here. Jnanam is there already, Aishwaryam, leadership, Balam. You can take the 4 words. Shakti, Balam, Viryam, and Tejaha. These 4 qualities mark the Lord that he should come and Rama should come and take Sita from Sri Lanka. So we are talking about a lot of, say, Hanuman is arguing that he will take her back immediately. Rama will be happy, Sita will be happy, all of us will be happy. We need not search again. Rama need not take effort to build a bridge along the ocean and come here. Take a lot of pains. No. But Sita says, Sat Tasya Sadrisham Bhagavan. It will be deserving for Rama to come to show his what we call the bow power, the power of the bow, Kodandam. Otherwise, it will be an insult to his Shakti, insult to his stages, insult to his Balam, insult to his medium. Ravana will scoff at him. Ravana will say, he is a coward, therefore he sent a monkey to take her back. So this kind of insult, Parabhavaha, Ke Anna Anurupaha. Now Lord is asking a beautiful question here. We come to this point, namely, a devotee commits a mistake and Lord does not take note of it. But here, in order to protect the devotee, he has to take care of the devotee. So, Kandirikai Swarupama. Whenever the devotee suffers, the Lord should come to the rescue. The Lord should help. So, Ingane Nirbandhika Kadaviro enna. Now he is asking, Paramatma is asking the Jivatma, will you compel me to do that? How can you order me? How can you command that I should help you? So, என்னுடைய அனர்த்தத்தை பரிகரிக்க சொல்லுகிறேன் அல்லன். ஆசிரியருக்கு விஷயங்களால் வரும் பரிபவம் ரட்சகரான தேவருக்கு தேஜோஹானி என்று அத்தை பரிகரிக்க சொல்லுகிறேன் என்கிறார். I told you the point earlier. Some people suffer more. So I am the representative of those people who suffer more. though I'm not personally suffering much, I see other people suffering. All of them are devotees. So he says, earlier that we say the first half, Abhuta Purvam Mama Bhavi Kimva Sarvam Saheme Sakajam Hi Dukkham. I am ready to bear all the sufferings which I undergo in my life. Life. But I want you to take action. So that's what Yamunacharya says. Yamunacharya is so merciful. As a preceptor, he is so merciful that he wants all his disciples to be happy and all his disciples not. I don't want to. So generally, what happens is the worldly desires conquer us. The worldly desires conquer us. We are not able to come out of them, and therefore, when we don't enjoy this world by the pleasures of this world, we feel insulted, we feel dejected, disgusted with because all the happiness that relates to this world is connected with what we call the objects of pleasure. Again, it is what we call the objects of senses. That is why beautifully given in translation, in the English translation, sense objects, sensory pleasures and sense objects. Since in this world we have attachment to the sense organs and sensory pleasures, then when we don't get our desires fulfilled, we become unhappy, and therefore that is what we call paribhava. So even the objects of pleasure cheat us. The objects of pleasure make us suffer. So Rakshakarana Devarku, when you are the protector, Tejo Hani. So your quality will suffer. What quality? Tejaha. Teja is a bright personality. So your popularity will get reduced. Your fame will be diminished. The Tejo Hani. என்று அத்தை பரிகரிக்க சொல்கிறேன். Yamunacharya is talking to the God directly like this. And Periyavachan Pillai has boosted his image by giving the conversational aspect. So you are the right protector, you are the only protector. And when you are the only protector, if you are not protecting all the surrendered people, that means you don't deserve to be the God, or so you'll be a fitting leader. Will be a fitting leader, and please avoid non-protection for people. When we say suffering, it refers to the three sufferings: Adi Bhautikam, Adi Daivikam, and Adhyatmikam. These are all there. And so many other expressions are given. Periyavachan Pillai is very eloquent in his commentary, and therefore we need a lot of time to go through the big paragraph, Yakshan, explanation to verse number 25.
So, Swami, you were talking about the helplessness of the soul, the karpanya.
Yeah.
And here it's being emphasized that we're waiting for, just like Sita, we're waiting for Rama to come and save us.
Yeah.
And so when I think of this type of karpanya, I think of the Marjala Nyaya. I think of the cat, the kitten and the cat. So, but but why is it that the Deshika Sampradaya has chosen this analogy of the monkey, the mother monkey? Then, if there is so much karpanya, should we not be thinking that God is like the mother cat and we are like the baby kitten?
But Sita is now looking like a small monkey in a sense. We can have a parallel. So she has been suffering a lot for 9 months in the Ashokavana of Ravana, and she has been clinging to the what you call the thought of the husband, and that refers to the monkey aspect. Monkey Nyayam. That is what you call Markata Nyaya. Markata Nyaya is without Sita, without the Jivatma, clinging to the thought of the Lord, the Lord may come and bless us even when we don't pray. That's also there. His mercy is so good, so great that that is what we saw in many aspects. As you said, surrender is not done by many people because they do not understand the concept at all. There are many people who do not understand the concept at all. The crow, for example, in Ramayana, it did not want to fall at the feet of the Lord, neither at the feet of Lord and God of Sita. It fell down and tired, that's all. Fell down tired. But it was nearby and therefore Sita recommended its protection, and Rama wanted some object to be object of target for the Brahmastra invoked on a grass blade, the blade of grass. That's all. Otherwise, he would have left the crow free. See, a light punishment for a great mistake. And that is by recommendation, Purushakaratvam also. And while Vali was killed, Sita was not nearby. Kambaramayana says. Devi Pirindavin, Tihaitanai Polum Un Sehe. You got confused while Sita was not present nearly. Of course, the concept is always Lord Shivanarayana and Mahalakshmi are always with each other. They never have separation. But the Ramayana episode is to show that the Lord is all merciful. That's all. He was ready to, Rama was ready to excuse Ravana in case Ravana surrenders. That's also there.
But Swami, okay.
Your interpretation is welcome.
No, it's okay. But you were saying that Sita is clinging to the memory of Rama. She's thinking of Rama, and because she's always thinking of Rama, that thinking of hers is the effort, like the effort of the baby monkey.
Yeah.
But my objection is that the Varaha Charma Sloka says we don't even have to remember him.
That's why I said the concept of total surrender is totally absent in many people's minds. People in the sense, animals, any living being, they do not know what to do. Only because as human beings, you and I are able, many of us are able to read, understand what is prapatti and all, and therefore I say Markata Marjara Nyaya, we all understand the concept. But there are many people ignorant of it. But those people are also blessed by the God. You have a list of people blessed by God. I'll tell you later. It comes in Abhi Pistam.
There's a list of people who are blessed by God even without doing anything.
Yeah. Without prayer.
Without prayer, but they had to. They had to do something to be blessed? No.
Yeah, and without even a small mention of a name of his son Narayana by Ajamela was the reason for protection. There are 2 points here. One is if you do a small action in the path of devotion, you are favored with a high gift, very great gift. And if you are because you are very much devoted, deeply devoted, then also you get the favor of the Lord towards it. Even if you do a small help. And again, as all of us know, when we do something good, when we don't expect any fruit by what we call punyam, the merit, then we are bound to get the mercy of the Lord. Your angle is always good. The angle of thought is always good. See, we always said that either Tengalai or Vadagalai or even Advaita Sampradaya are not unnatural. They are all they have different. We have different philosophies, different paths of devotion, different roads to safety. We don't disagree. Now, today there was a discussion. This was discussed today. When you say Ramanujacharya 1,000 years ago, when he lived, he surrendered to the Lord on our behalf. If you say it in Tengalai Sampradaya, it has no acceptance of Shastra. Shastra doesn't approve of it. There is no mention in any scripture or anywhere that an Acharya can do it for future generations. Might be that when Ramanujacharya's contemporaries, followers of Ramanujacharya in his time, were given protection by his obeisance to the Lord. He surrendered to the Lord for the sake of all the devotees present at that time. He cannot assure that the same, cannot give the same assurance by his falling at the feet once upon a time, and you say, no, I need not to fall at the feet of the Lord today. Because already Ramanuja, I come under the under the leadership of Ramanujacharya, and therefore Ramanujacharya did it already. So I need not do any total surrender. I need not fall at the divine feet. That is not acceptable according to Shastra.
Yeah, it sounds very much like Christianity. In Christianity, they believe this, that Jesus died 2,000 years before us, and somehow because he did things 2,000 years ago, that is saving us. So some people are also saying this in Udar that Ramanuja is the only Udaraka Acharya, and all other Acharyas are only Upakaraka Acharyas. that Ramanuja is the only one who helps to pick us up and take us to moksha. But
Redeemed.
all other acharyas, including our acharyas, our present acharyas, they are only helpers of Ramanuja.
Yeah, helpful. Others are helpful, but he redeemed us.
But as you
Right.
say, it's not part of, it's not in Shastra. It's not a concept in Shastra.
When you say that I belong to Ramanuja's Vamsha, 10 generations earlier, his generation, and 10 generations later, 21 generations he redeemed. That's what we say. But we are beyond that 21.
Right. So
But one-
10 generations would only be about 300 years or so.
Yeah, that's all. And we claim, it is only for us to claim that I belong to Ramanuja's cave. And
So-
you take shelter under Charma Shloka of Ramavatara saying, Sakrideva Prapannaya, so once you surrender, you did not fall down at the divine feet twice or 4 times like unlike basic Sampradaya. Till the protection is extended, we have to surrender. That is why Ramanuja also said, you also asked me why 8 times Namo Namaha. Then Yamunacharya was preceded by Ramanujacharya. Ramanujacharya should have followed Yamunacharya in this case. But there are 3 acharyas giving us advice. We will take all of them. We will not leave Yamunacharya and take only Ramanujacharya.
Right. Naturally, even now we're reading the words of Yamunacharya. So we're taking advice from him.
Yeah.
We're taking his help.
Now this 25 gives you the essence that I am ready to suffer anything. When I see others suffering, I surrender at the feet of the Lord again and again, in order to help my co-participants in the surrender. That is the, and therefore, many times you have to make a surrender. In that case, why I say this? Lord has to come to rescue like a cat, like a mother cat. One small example, a practical example. I told you already, a cat is there in our house. It visits often. And because it feeds 5 kittens, it comes to our kitchen often because it wants to feed the 5 kittens. And every 2 hours it's coming here to take some food, asking for food. Very gently asking for food. And she jumps onto the chair and asks for some food. And meaning he wants to protect the children. And the Lord is like our mother.
So we had this discussion also with Dr. Alwar about that some people are saying that Ramanuja is only the one the only guru who lifts up, and the others are only helpers. And he said, no, it's not like that. And he should, because as you say, some Tengalais are saying like that. But he said no. He said the because we were studying Mumukshapadi with him, he said that the acharya that gives the Tirumantram, that acharya is the Udaraka acharya. That is lifting you up, because he's delivering the Tirumantram, which means delivering the Lord to you, because Tirumantram is known different from the Lord. So he said the other gurus, like for instance in the case of Ramanuja, his acharya was, his main acharya is Mahapurna, his Periyanambi, who has delivered the Tirumantra to him. But then he went to Gostipurna to understand the meaning, the Tirumantra Artha, the meaning of the mantra. So he is a Upakaraka guru, whereas Periyanambi is the Udaraka guru for Ramanuja. So just like that, our acharya who gives us the Tirumantra is the main acharya who's lifting us up. This is what he said, Dr. Alwar. So he's agreeing with you that this idea that Ramanuja is the only one who's lifting us up is not correct.
And again, we have not seen Ramanuja in person, and therefore Ramanujacharya becomes Upakaraka, and as you said, those who advised us on the Ashtakshara mantra is Uddaraka Acharya. Right? And in the case of the Acharya that we see today, my Acharya today, we call him God, and his body, the physical body, and just like us, 2 hands, 2 legs, and so on. We have to respect him as Divya Mangala Vigraha. The divine auspicious form of the Lord itself is our Acharya. He is not just like ordinary human being like you and I. Our Acharya is equal to God, and his body, physical body, frame, is a form of divine auspiciousness. That is what we understand. And the preceptor will be interested in the studies of the disciple. The disciple should be interested in the health of the preceptor. So very nice. So yeah, all the sampradayas are acceptable.
Madhva also. Yeah, I think Advaita is a little bit different, because Advaitins have some different concepts, but they also have Acharya Bhakti. They also believe in doing bhakti and doing works of devotion for God. The difference in Advaita is that they're doing for many gods. And they don't see a difference between the different devatas.
And as you said, Gaudiyas are also equally devoted.
Yeah, they're also Vaishnavas. They're also worshipping Krishna.
And what is that? The Gujarat Sampradaya, Lakshmi Narayan Sampradaya.
But they have Swami Narayan, and they have also the Balaba Sampradaya. Balaba Sampradaya is in Gujarat. And Swami Narayan, they say that they are they are coming from Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, because Swami Narayan was a disciple of Ramanand, and Ramanand says he was a disciple of Ramanuja. So there's some connection there. Although Swami Narayan he wrote in his book that his followers should follow Sri Bhashya and Gita Bhashya of Ramanuja. But just recently, the Swaminarayans, one group of Swaminarayans have made their own bhashyas, their own commentary on Prasthanatraya, separate.
Oh.
So some of them want to go separate. Others they say we are connected to Ramanuja Sampradaya.
But are there different ideas?
They have some slight different ideas. The Swaminarayans, yeah. We studied it I studied it with in a Madras University course that I did. We studied the different sampradayas. So it's a little bit different, Swaminarayan.
So of course, our Vaishnava Sampradaya is universally accepted by all. Govindacharya has got something to say. I read recently, he said, an article
Yeah, I
that,
think Govindacharya has read something. He is saying that he read an article by some Gaudiya sannyasi who wrote that Namalwar is actually the Udaraka guru because Namalwar has first given the doctrine of property, but I don't think we can say that Namalwar is the first who's given the doctrine of property because the Guru Parampara starts with Sriman Narayana. Sriman Narayana himself has started the doctrine of property. The Sriman Narayana came as Narayana Rishis to deliver the Astakshara mantra to us. So I don't think we can say Namalwar is very great, of course, but the Guru Parampara starts with Sriman Narayana.
so we accept all the acharyas in the clan. Next to Emberman, there is Lord Sriman Narayana, Mahalakshmi. Then we have to Vishwaksena. Then next to Vishwaksena, Namalwar.
So what he's saying now is he's saying that therefore the Lord alone is the Udaraka Guru, the Udaraka Acharya, the one who lifts us up. So this is that's completely understandable. But that's why the Guru who gives the Astakshara mantra is the Udaraka Acharya, because the Astakshara mantra is the Lord. The Lord is the actual Upaya. He's the Upaya.
He is the Upaya and he is the Upaya.
Can I ask this question? Usually we have this bija mantras like
Aksharas.
bijaksharas. Like with Krishna, that we have the kama bija, which is clean.
Yeah.
In that, normally when we make a bija, we take the first akshara of the name and we add anuswara to it. So not from Krishna we should get cream, but instead we get clean. So again, it's a again it's
I'm not aware of the bijakshara formation.
Yeah, but again we have re and vri are very similar.
There is a bijakshara called Shraum.
For Narasimha.
Yeah.
We call it Kopa Bijakshara.
Three letters combined only. K, Ka, Sha, and Ra. Shraum.
Is it very important in Narasimha worship?
Yeah, it's one.
So Hobalam Mutt people are using this a lot.
Yeah. There is a science for Bijakshara mantra. That is a separate theory.
So can I ask also, Swami? I was looking in the book about. I have some books giving methods of chanting Astakshara mantra and different mantras. and the dhyanam and the nyasa and all these things. And in one of my books, it also says there's this mantra for Sri Devi. There's a Panchakshari mantra for Mahalakshmi.
Right.
So, so is it only Deshika Sampradaya who is emphasizing that, or is it
Only Ahobila Matha Sampradaya.
in Ahobila Mat? Are the acharyas giving mantra upadesha of this?
Yeah. After Ashtakshara and Dvaya and Charama Shloka, fourth mantra that we get from our Acharya is Om Srim Siyai Namah.
So there's actually a Guru Parampara giving this.
Yeah.
Because I have a book from Tila Swami, Sri Tila Sthanam Swami, Kainkarya Sabha,
yeah.
Bangalore, and Vishishta Dvaita Research Center in Chennai.
Yeah.
And they talk about Shrim Shriye Namaha as Panchakshara mantra, but I think Tenacharya Sampradaya they're not giving upadesham of this mantra.
Because they consider always Shri as Jiva Koti.
Okay.
And again,
but we may be saying this in when we say Guru Parampara Anusandanam, we may also be saying Shrim Shriye Namaha, or at least Shriye Namaha. We say Shriye Namaha, Shri Dharaya Namaha.
Yeah. Bijaksharam added plus Pranavam is also added.
Pranavam, Om Shrim Shriye Namaha.
Yeah.
Okay. So is this mantra is given at Samashrinam in Ahobilam Mutt?
Yeah.
But not in other Muni Traya Sampradaya?
Not in Munitraya, yeah.
Well,
Not
so
in Munitraya.
is it given to ladies also?
Everyone.
So, but
without pronoun.
So Am Shrim Shriye Namaha for ladies?
Yeah.
Am Shrim.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Very
Even
good.
The Ashtantara mantra has no pronoun for ladies.
Right. So then when in Ahobilam Mutt when we're doing Sandhya Vandanam, before Upasthanam they do Tirumantra Japam.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they also do this Japam of this mantra too? No.
They have started doing it.
You started doing it.
Though everybody has to recite all the 4 mantras every day, I wanted to add to the Ashtakshara, the Charma Shloka is little longer. Dvaya I add, Dvaya and Shri mantra I add before the Upasthana.
The same number.
Yeah, same number. Gayatri
Same number.
Gayatri.
I see. But in the Anakam, in the Ahobilam Mutt Anakam, this is not mentioned. It's not mentioned to chant these others. Only Tirumantra.
It's not mentioned.
So it's but it can be done.
Yeah, it can be done. Yeah.
All before Gayatri Upasthanam.
Right. Because Ashtakshara mantra japa is recommended only after Upasthana by other Sampradaya.
Right.
Other Vadagali Sampradaya. But Ahobilam Sampradaya includes before Upasthana. Why not we add Dvaya and Shri mantra? Charma Sloka, Sarvadharman Parititya can be said little later, but it also takes more time.
There's a book by called Sri Vaishnava Brahmins, old book, by one Rangachari. He's also Deshika Sampradaya, and it comes in English. He mentions the chanting of so many mantras in the morning. These even Sadakshara and Dwadasakshara, all these different mantras. But and it also comes in Panchakala Kriya Deepa, all of the different mantras Or even in Panchakala Kriya Deepa, it mentions chanting of Soham. Is it a Vaishnava mantra?
It's a song. It's a scriptural sentence.
Soham Hamsaha.
Yeah. It's a scriptural sentence. You cannot say it is wrong because it's a scriptural sentence. Aham Brahmasmi, we say in Sandhyam.
Right. Do we say Brahm? Some people they say
Asavadityo Brahma, Brahmaivaham Asmi.
But only the smarters are saying Brahmaiva Masmi, I think. Mostly smarters saying that.
But we say.
You also say Brahmaiva Masmi.
Yeah. Everyone, without exception. After Argya,
I know that.
We do Atma Pradakshina and say Asavadityo Brahma, Brahmaivaham Asmi.
Right. I just thought I have to look in the Anakam again because I thought Brahmaiva Masmi was not included. But anyhow, my question is, we know how the Tira mantra came. We know how the Dwaya mantra was instructed by Lord Narayana to Goddess Mahalakshmi in Vaikuntham. And then the Charma Sloka was spoken by Krishna and Rama and Varaha. This Panchakshari Shri mantra for Shri, the Panchakshari, what is the history of that? Do you know? Who has given it? Yeah, I have to ask. Is it coming from is it in some Shastra?
It should have been a Deshika Sampradaya, if at all.
Okay. Yeah,
but, again, if it doesn't have history, the proof, the pramanam is, the authority is what we get from the preceptor. That's all.
Yeah, Sistachara. Yeah.
I wanted to ask Govindacharya a question. Does he understand the word kalebare? Because he's asking me.
Not really, Swami.
What's the meaning of kalebare?
I don't know, because according to Keshavacharya, it doesn't exist in the dictionary. So I don't know.
No, Kaleva is there. Kaleva means the body.
Bare is the body. Kalebare.
I don't know.
The disease affected body. Rather, in the sense, disease is the imbalance. The imbalance of hormones, especially, which we say in scientific. Sharire Jajjari Bhute. Jajjari Bhute is one version, Jajjare Bhute is another one. Jajjare, separate word, Bhute, separate word. Jajjari Bhute is a single compound word. Then Vyadhigraste, already know the diseases are there. Kalebare, as we say, while one gets fever, the red corpuscles fight with white corpuscles in blood. That's what we say. That fight is there. Kalebare is what we call quarrel. What we call brawl. B-R-E-W-L. That is what we call kalebare. Some fight is going on inside.
Wow, that's very, very interesting.
Yeah,
it's very scientific too.
So
imbalance in the body.
The like the virus and the antibodies.
Yeah, antibodies. Yeah, right. Any foreign object into the human body is unwelcome. That is why when transplantations are done, some are not compatible.
But that's also why you don't like to eat foreign foods.
Well, we are not used to it. I cannot live by bread alone.
So bread is foreign.
Yeah, bread is
In South India, bread is foreign. It's from North
now,
India.
now everything, every vegetable is Indian now.
But some people will not eat the foreign vegetables.
Yeah, you know, today Dr. Venkatesh, an MBBS doctor, the disciple of Dr. Karunakaracharya Swami, is recommending that we should not eat carrot. We should not take carrot. I don't know why. I have to ask him. He said mullangi, the what you call it, the radish. We must not eat radish. And that is there. The onion. All these are all what you call tamasika, rajasika vegetables. But why not carrot? I don't know.
Also, the drumstick. Iyengars are not eating the drumstick.
Yeah. Drumstick is rajasika.
But chilies, no problem. A lot of chilies in Pulihodra, but drumstick forbidden.
Yeah. Chili makes you active. When you have hot spices, your body is kindled. You become very brisk.
Yeah, the Iyengar Pulihodra is considered to be very. It's a very important food for Iyengars Pulihodra, right? Tamarind rice.
Today we have another type of chili. Sir, இந்த இது அஸ்வின் கொடுத்த அந்த மிளகா பேர் என்ன? அவன் சொன்னான். We have different type of chili which is not very hot, but Kashmiri chili.
Kashmiri chili. Or we have the what do they call those Bangalore? We call them bell peppers or capsicum.
That is kodemulaha. Capsicum.
स्वादयन्निह सर्वेषाम् त्रय्यन्तार्थम् सुदुर्ग्रहम् स्तोत्रयामास योगीन्द्रः तम् वन्दे यामुनाह्वयम् नमो नमो यामुनाय यामुनाय नमो नमः नमो नमो यामुनाय यामुनाय नमो नमः यत्पदाम्भोरुहध्यान विध्वस्ताशेषकल्मषः वस्तुतामुपयातोऽहम् यामुनेयम् नमामि तम्
श्रीमत्कृष्ण समात्वाय नमो यामुन सूनवे यत्कटाक्ष एकलक्ष्याणां सुलभः श्रीधरः सदा नमः यामुन पाद अब्ज वेणुभिः पावित आत्मने विदित अखिल वेद्याय गुरवे विदित आत्मने
कवितार्किकसिंहाय कल्याणगुणशालिने श्रीमते वेङ्कटेशाय वेदान्तगुरवे नमः।